We all know that the New York Yankees outlasted the Boston Red Sox to win the 77 AL East and eventually the World Series. But did you know a certain man called Kong, playing with his fourth team that year, played a big factor in that? Of course, Dave Kingman. Now, Dave Kingman was picked up by the Yankees late in the season as insurance for the Yankees to stay ahead of Boston, and he really put up some good numbers. But he couldn't qualify for the postseason, so technically he won a World Series ring that year, even though he wasn't part of the team for the postseason. Now the Yankees lost to Boston on September 15th, saw the Bronx Bombers AL East lead to shrink to 2.5 games ahead of the Red Sox and Orioles. Feeling the need for insurance for the final 15 games of the season, the Yankees acquired Kingman from the California Angels for pitcher Randy Stein in cash. It had been a very eventful season for Kingman. The Yankees were the fourth different team he played for in 2 leagues. He had started out the year as a member of the Mets before being dealt to the Padres for Bobby Valentine and pitcher Paul Siebert. On September 6th, the Padres plucked Kingman off of waivers and 9 days later sent him back to New York, but this time on the other side of the the Angels. Now, Kingman appeared in 8 games and delivered his usual Kong-like way, 6 for 27, with all hits being for extra bases, 4 home runs, 2 doubles, 7 RBIs, 2 bases on balls, 13 Ks, and a 250, 333, 833 slash line. The Yankees finished 10-5 to finish the division 2.5 games up and went on to capture the first World Series. Now, Kingman, who would fit right into the approach of today's game with launch angles, exit velocity, and strikeouts, spent 9 more seasons in the major leagues. 3 years each with the Cubs, the Mets again, and the Oakland A's. Kong was better than a lot of today's sluggers, only twice striking out more than 150 times in the season. He led the NL in home runs twice, including 48 for the Cubs in 79 and 35 in his final season in the majors. We'd like to thank BronxPinstripes.com for the interesting information. Now, my father had mentioned to me about Kingman ending up being in New York, and he said, my God, Chris Chambliss, Reggie Jackson, Thurman Munson, all these key players. Kingman's he's going to do well in the playoffs. I said, Dad, he's not eligible. So just look at the stat line here. Total that season, he had 26 homers and 78 RBIs. In the American League, 6 homers, 11 RBIs. National League, 20 homers, 67 RBIs. The Mets, 928. San Diego, 1139. California, in 10 games, 2 home runs, 4 runs batted in, batting 194. And, of course, with the Yankees, 4 home runs, 7 RBIs, 2 doubles, 5 runs scored, 250 average. Now, that full season, he hit 221, only struck out 143 times, again with 26 homers and 20 doubles, so 46 extra base hits. Now, why Dave Kingman is brought up again this week, because we saw Fred McGriff and Scott Rowland get into the Hall of Fame, and we want to throw as much publicity we can to getting Dave Kingman into baseball Hall of Fame. He deserves to be there. He was a very popular player. He made every team he was on better. He had played with numerous Hall of Famers in all these years, and Kingman at his best was the best home run hitter in Major League Baseball. He should have hit 60 home runs. You look at the old Harry Carey Cub calls with Kingman, especially the multi-homer games, my God. And the strike season, he was sort of the one that kept it all together, getting the fans to come back, because we always thought Kingman, like to chase for 50, we knew he was never going to hit 60. But, a big man, sort of like Kluszewski and Frank Howard, big man hitting home runs. With Reggie, it wasn't effortless, but with Kingman, it was effortless, because if he got the ball on the bat, it was gone. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to check out Dave Kingman's other podcasts here, we go over to more of the history of his career, but check out all the calls from the Chicago and New York Mets and Oakland A's broadcasters. Quite interesting. And Dave Kingman remains one of our most popular podcasts here. You get a lot of fans. So tell your friends, if you like what we're doing here, give us a like, comment, subscribe, or share. And I want to make sure to let everybody know not to forget Dave Kingman. You, as the fans of baseball, must remind your local media rep and different people not to give up on getting Dave Kingman in the Baseball Hall of Fame, because in the 70s and 1980s, he was a top 10 player for home run hitters. That alone should get him in. Just because the teams he was on didn't win, not his fault. He did his best. Can you imagine what those teams would be like without him? Thanks for listening. Bye.